Would you date, like actually date and be going out in public with a chick? She making $500K a year, but she big and ugly.
I had to lean more actually to no. Here's the reason why I'm gonna lean to no. Because I would do it for only one reason, and it's scandalous, and that's just to get to the money. And then after that, I'd be out. So
you not dating her? You just
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I'd be
you
lean to the no. That's why I had to lean to the no.
You just busting her down and you just manipulating her, destroying her life.
Exactly.
Right. Destroy.
This is why
all you doing is just destroying her life.
When I get on the phone with friends and ladies are like, "Oh, come fix my blinds, Thomas. Come do it." I'll be like, "I'm not. All dogs stay in the house." Welcome to the TMF podcast, where we have too many feelings. I'm your host T Staples, and I'm joined today by.
It's your man Freddie B. We in the building. You already know what it is.
We know what it is, and we know what it ain't. And who else we got?
What it do? It's your girl Lana Boo.
Oh yeah! Watch out! Don't get scared when she say boo. She ain't a ghost. And look, for all y'all listening, we'll bring you all these feelings from the comforts of our homes. That's right, 100% remote. So if you feel our show us how you feel by subscribing, so you can get notified when the new episodes drop. And if you like what you're hearing, send us a message. Our handles are in the description below. We'd love to know how you feel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Kevin Samuels. Keeping it real or tearing them down? But first, it's time for a moment I like to call the internet NEVA Loss. Ooh, that laugh was good this time. I had that spicy sausage. That's right. In my attempt to navigate through the endless insanity of interconnectivity that we all call the internet, I decided to go to a topic that we've already talked about before on the podcast. It's the ongoing saga of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, or should I say Kim Kardashian West and Kanye West divorce potential? No, it's happening now, y'all. She has now officially filed. But before we talk about her filing, I'm going to play y'all a couple of clips, and I just want to set the tone for the conversation. Here we go.
Hi. So catch you guys home together. Is this like a rare thing?
It is really rare, so lucky you.
Oh, that's great. So your home is clearly stunning.
Thank you.
How would you describe this home?
I would say like a minimal monastery.
Wow. And where did the inspiration come from?
From Axel Vavort and Kanye. Hi, guys. Hi.
Aw.
What are you doing? Daddy's in here?
Adorable.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. And what's the most rewarding thing about being a mom?
I would say when the kids tell you they love you.
I already said that.
Kanye, what's the best part about being a dad?
The kids.
What's the most important thing you learned from your parents about raising a family, Kim?
Just that family is everything. Oh, cough on me, why don't you?
Aw. Can you share with me your secret to good parenting?
I would say you just have to wing it. My sisters and I are on a group chat, always getting parenting advice.
But they don't get advice from me. Can I get on that chat, please?
I'm gonna have to let you guys sort that out.
Ooh, well, this is when things were going good, right? That was from Vogue Magazine's 73 Questions, where they go into the house and talk to Kim Kardashian. But of course, it wasn't just about Kim Kardashian. Kanye West did interject, as you heard at the end, and he went on from there to talk about how they're living and doing things as a two-parent household. But here we are today. I'm going to go to Wendy Williams because nobody does it better than Wendy when it comes to some scandalous shit.
It's official that Kim and Kanye have filed for divorce. Apparently, she was the one who filed, and I guess he's going along with it. And she's got one of the best divorce attorneys for a woman. She's over in LA. So they have 4 children, and they're going to share custody of the kids. See, that to me, that's the setup right there. I wouldn't think that he'd be good with 4 young children or even one at a time. He's moved out. He lives now in Wyoming. The word is that once he came and got his stuff out of the place where they live in Calabasas, that she changed the locks and she lives there with the kids. And I don't know. I wouldn't try. He went off the rails and he's still not right, Kanye. And the kids are very impressionable. And Kanye says that he thinks that the final straw with Kim was when he was running for president. He's not a fit parent right now. Anyway, they have a combined worth, they say, of $2.1 billion. They also have a prenuptial agreement that both of them are going to honor. They say this is not going to really be a problem. She can go off and still do really well in business or whatever she wants to do. You know, I mean, she's got her lane, you know, so even she has limitations, but her limitations pretty much, I'm trying to think of what would her limitations be?
Nope.
Nothing.
None.
Any money that she loses over being with him, she'll make that back quickly. She'll get married again. This is her third marriage. She'll get married again. There'll be somebody who'll want to be a part of it. Sign here. You know, but there'll be somebody who want to be a part of it. And, you know, I think hopefully she'll be tasteful in explaining to the children why there's always, you know, an army of people around whenever they visit their father. You know, it's touchy. And she's different than the girls in Atlanta, by the way, because we've always known, like we met her on her back or on all fours, right? We met her on all fours, so she's not, if anything, she's made it work for her. Right. You know?
A pioneer.
Look at the way they celebrate. Okay, so audience out there, 2 questions for you. Would you leave your kids with Kanye for the weekend? And what does "to death do us part" mean to you? Send us a message. Our handles are in the description below, and let us know how you feel. And don't forget to subscribe and rate our podcast. This has been yours truly with this week's edition of The Internet Never Lost. Ooh, spicy sausage. Got my laugh back right. Catch you next time. So, okay. Freddie B. Alana Boo, what y'all think? I mean, it's going to happen now. They getting a divorce. She done filed. She ready to go. He moving out. Got his stuff. She changed the locks?
She changed the locks. I thought that was interesting.
Did she have to change the locks for Kanye, though? Like, I mean, this is some next level wealth.
I mean, I'll say I kind of get it because she had the whole thing in Europe where she got robbed and that whole deal, and then, you know, and somebody's moving out, she's starting fresh, she changing the locks, and she probably thinking like if he needs to come back, she can let him in. It's not a reason for him to, like, oh, I need to come in when I want to without you knowing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with this. Okay. So what do we think? I know y'all got some thoughts on this. I got a lot.
Yeah,
but
I do. I'll let ladies first.
Okay, let Alana Boo. Okay, Alana Boo. Now hold on, wait. Last time you got mad, Alana Boo smashed you. She was killing the answer.
No. Yeah, last time I got mad, we was talking about personal relationship.
Oh, okay.
And Alana Boo was in the land of milk and honey, and I'm not, and so I didn't want to keep coming behind her.
I see.
She talking about her Lamborghini, and I pull up in my Camry, and like, hey, well, let me tell you about my Toyota Camry. Like, no, that's not what I want to do.
Hey, man,
I want to wow you with my Camry, and then she can come and like, ooh, wow, look at that Lamborghini. By the time you do that, you forgot about me. I'm gone.
All right,
that's what happened.
Yeah.
All right, Alana Boo.
I mean, I can see. I mean, honestly, let's just say we kind of saw this one coming a little bit. This is a situation where, you know, you got 2 high-powered celebrities. You know, they can kind of do what they want in life. There's nobody to really tell them no. I mean, it's unfortunate for the children.
Yeah, 4 kids. 4
children. And I'm sure that was not what Kim had in mind when she got married for the 3rd time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, she was hoping this would last in, happily ever after. But, situations happen, things come up. I have a question for y'all though. Do you feel like, because clearly Kanye is mentally unstable.
Right, he's unstable. We do know that.
Yeah, and he's been a little mentally unstable for a minute. It's almost like when his mom passed, that's when everything just kind of triggered for him. He just started to kind of derail a little bit after that, the passing of his mom. And I can definitely understand that. I went through my own time when my mom passed.
Right.
So in mental health, is something that's, that's very important, especially within the Black community. So do y'all feel like she's kind of jumping ship, like kind of early. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
oh my God.
I do.
I mean, I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dealing with somebody. I mean, the whole thing about when you take vows, which I don't know exactly what their specific vows were to each other, because, you know, in this day and age, we don't take those historic vows that we used to,
Right,
love,
that's
honor,
true.
obey,
That's true.
in sickness and in health, you know, and things like that. So people can kind of put their own spin on vows. I know I included sickness and health in my vows to my husband, because I wanted to reassure him that, you know, should something happen, I'm not just gonna jump ship just because things are not all peachy and you know, and things like that. So I kind of feel like, you know, in my opinion, it's no longer convenient. It's no longer picture perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like she's just jumping ship on him, and, you know, like, get out of the media, get out of, like, real life is hitting you right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For
Like real life, you got 4 kids. Real
yeah,
life.
this real life is hitting you right now. And you need to go deal with it out of the public eye. You know what I'm saying? Get this man, you know, the help that he needs. And, you know what I'm saying? And y'all work through that privately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, he has his moments where he kind of takes things public. I know he had, around that same time, he had tweeted something about wanting a divorce and, you know, and something like that. But, you know, when people are mentally unstable, things like that happen. So to me, it just seems kind of soon. Like, of course, we don't know what their private life is. We don't know exactly how long she could have been dealing with this for the full 7 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it could have been something that just kind of jumped off within the last year or two, you know, when he decided he wanted to run for president or whatever. So, but I just kind of feel like, you know, in sickness and in health, like, y'all took a vow. He's clearly a little sick, on the sick end right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's necessarily the best thing for her to kind of jump ship, you know, especially for the sake of the kids. But then again, I'm not in their household. But I just kind of feel like when it comes to the Kardashians, when things are no longer convenient for them and it's no longer a good look, you know, for their show or, you know, or anything like that, that they tend to kind of dump the men and, you know, and move on to the next.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably some of the basis. Well, that is some of the basis from the question that I was asking. What does "to death do us part" mean to you? And you took it even further back into the vows into, well, hell, did we add in sickness and in health? I mean, we need to put that in there. So, you know, because at what point is the trigger point? And several times on this show, you know, you heard Freddie B talk about this several times on the show. I'm gonna mess the word up, but Freddie B come back. Amicable divorce, right? Which is like, you know, they got that, right, where both sides can just. It's like it's a divorce for no reason. Am I right, Freddie B? You said that a couple times, right? Amicable.
Irreconcilable differences.
Oh, irreconcilable
like
differences. Yeah.
Yeah, no fault divorce, and I think that's what she filed.
Right, that's right. And so when you think about it, like, I mean, why marry? Yeah, y'all worth $2.1 billion, and as Wendy Williams was suggesting, she might lose money because of the prenup. Mm-hmm. So what? Just date. Why can't they just date? Why? What did you need to marry for? And maybe it's to what you just said, Alana. Maybe it's all about the look. Maybe they need the look. She needed the husband with the kids, and now I look like I've surpassed this whole sex scandal stuff, and I'm no longer how you met me on all fours per se. You know, right. On my back. I'm no longer that woman. I'm the upstanding housewife now. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't look good anymore, so now I'm out. So, you know, I think that is part of it. Freddie B, I mean, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, I know you answered Alana's question. You know, like, do you think she's giving up, jumping ship too soon? But I mean, explain what you know, why?
I mean, I think with the Kardashians, I think both of y'all touched on it. You know, they've painted this image of being like devourers. They're like the women devourers. Like they're the new age like power women, and they like, you know, setting this standard of like women be like them. Like
that's right. You're right. Because they want people to follow. Yeah.
Right, like they're the quote unquote man. Like men have been doing this all these years, so now women, y'all take it and y'all do this. Y'all meet the guy and like, oh, okay, I don't want it no more, and then bounce. And the thing is that isn't what has happened. And then especially if you get into cultures that definitely if you get into like the black culture, that definitely isn't what's happening. Black men don't just be marrying their women and be like, all right, I'm over this, I'm leaving you. Like that ain't what happened. You know, that happens in primarily in other cultures. But in this case with Kim Kardashian, like I mean all the Kardashian women, they're like evil. Like Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
all of them, they are like evil women, you know, because if you look at all the situations, like they leave and it's like one little thing like, oh, okay, yeah, this is bad for my brand.
Exactly.
And so now I need to leave. Their brand is number one.
It's everything.
Yeah, everything bows to the brand. And you look at all the men that have come into their circle. All the men have been destroyed.
Destroyed.
Even their brother. Yeah, even their brother. Their brother, Rob, he's been destroyed. He's like pitiful as shell. Lamar Odom, you know, his life, he almost died, like literally destroyed. You had what used to be Bruce Jenner, now she's Caitlyn Jenner. So literally destroyed. There was a man there and literally destroyed, and now it's a woman. She's a woman or whatever. And then you got Kanye going through all this, and then she got 4 kids and then divorced him. Like you couldn't pay me enough money to marry Kim Kardashian. You couldn't pay me enough money. Like Kim Kardashian at best for me could be a jump off, a bust down. Like, oh, I just come through and then, just to use it. Like, oh, we seen Kim Kardashian with Freddie B. Who's this Freddie B guy? Like, oh, okay, he doing it and on just some Phantom in the Night type stuff. Like you don't quite know, but you seen a couple of pictures of us holding hands, or there's one picture that Earth and we kiss, and that's it. Like, but I ain't around her family. I'm not like that's it. And then after a while, then like hell no, you got to go. Kind of like how Lori Harvey did Diddy's son and then did Diddy. Like something like that maybe. But I would never date Kim. I can't imagine like what man would date Kim Kardashian. I can't imagine because like she is like a multi-millionaire. So as a man, you got to be.
I'd be the dummy to do it.
You would date Kim Kardashian?
I like to smash a couple times, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Like she might be a bust down, a jump off.
Oh,
like,
well, I don't think a bust down is you just knock them out, but they're not really looking that good. She look good to me.
Nah, you have a good looking bust down.
No, yeah, she look good. It's just that.
Oh, okay, I got confused.
I got confused. Saying, you know.
I hear him over talking. I'm like, shit, Freddie.
Yeah.
I'm saying like you know she treated like a bust down. She treated like a jump off.
Oh, I
see.
Yeah.
You know, you bust her down and you keep it moving. Like, you know, yeah, like something like that. But like dating her, like, oh yeah, Kim is my girl. Like, why? Like, what do? Because the thing is for her to date you, you probably gotta have a net worth close to her. And a man with a net worth close to her, like, what dude is like, okay, this woman with 4 children has been married 3 different times. And then she has the track record, and her family has the track record that they have. I'm going to enter in this. And then a dude who probably would do that is somebody who ain't got money, who wants to get money. Then is Kim going to date a guy in that realm, like a guy only making $150K a year and his net worth is $100K? Kim going to be dating him for serious? Like,
nope.
What dude falls in the realm? Like, I don't see her dating. I see her and all her sisters having kids and dying alone, like how we based off our subject today.
With Kevin saying he's gonna die alone.
Yeah.
I see all them dying alone.
Well, you know what? I'll say this piece before we move to the Kevin Samuels, and I'll say this little piece about Kim. I just do not see her as the type of woman in the position she's in with her family to be in this situation. It seems that she was in a situation that was. And from my point of view, this is awesome. The man who thought of you as the woman of his dreams gets you. You love
Facts.
him. He loves you. Y'all have kids.
He got a song about her.
He got a song about you.
Before he met her, it's with him featuring. It was 88 Keys featuring Kanye West. And it's called Stay Up, Viagra. You listen to that song, he raps about Kim. This is way before he met her.
This guy dreamt about you. You get what I'm saying? This guy marries you, has kids with you, and is down for the commitment of just like whatever we gonna do is me and you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they into swinging and he done cheated and been with a bunch of women. I don't know. But from the outside looking in, it seems as though this seems like a very iced up, put together thing, and she wants it. She's not doing well. And I don't know if this is for publicity or not, but There was a report that came out that she's not doing well. She's not taking her own divorce well, but you filed. She's not doing too well. Well,
but you know, also they doing the last season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Well, I ain't got there yet. I ain't even got there yet in my
bad.
thing. I ain't even got there yet. I'm saying you filed. So you filed and you not now you butt hurt. You sitting over there crying. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Yeah, it's hurting, but you don't have to let go. You can stay where you are and work on what you have. Because what else are you gonna get, Kim? I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to come my way, you know what I'm saying? We can knock it down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, but I know you want more than that. That ain't legacy. You know what I mean? That ain't legacy. No, what you got could build a legacy. It just don't even make sense that y'all getting divorced. Even if y'all do have some hard times. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all, that y'all supposed to be together. If this is the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, y'all together. Y'all together. There's nothing else. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with choosing that. And I think that looking at what she's doing, it's just like, nah, there's something wrong about this. And I started to ask myself, well, is there other forces at play that could be, you know, pressing on her? And, you know, as I look around, I notice, oh, new Hulu deal. You know, new Hulu deal. Alert. Disney, we coming. That's right. They signed a multi-year deal with Hulu to do a show. Multi-year. It's gonna be the Kardashian and Jenner's a show. So it's gonna be their franchise that they're putting on Disney. It's not gonna be Keep Up with the Kardashians no more. As Freddie B just mentioned, that's ended September 21st. Last season, they done. No, but they not done seeing you guys from the world of entertainment. No. Fans, don't worry. They coming right back. You just gonna have to buy Hulu now. If you don't have it, you have to get it. So I just think, could it be something like that pressuring her? We're going into a new shift. Disney's not going to put up with Kanye. He's not going to put up with this. You know, is that it? I don't know. I listen, I thought Hulu showed all TV. Well, last I checked, Hulu got a lot of stuff on it. So it can't be that. But what is it, Kim? We don't know. So we're going to leave it right there. Maybe, you know what, Kim, you should do? If you listen to this, Kim, go holler at Kevin Samuels and let him give you some pointers. Because I think Kevin would say, go back to your man. But on that note,
hell yeah.
On that note, we're going to move right along, folks. Kevin Samuels, it's a simple question. I'm going to ask everybody. It's easy. Is he keeping it real or is he tearing these women down? Is he tearing them down or building them up? To answer this question, I want to go and I first want to speak about who this guy Kevin Samuels is. So Kevin Samuels, if you may or may not know, I'm just going to tell you. This is who he says he is. He's an image consultant. An image consultant. Now, he's not a relationship consultant. He's not a counselor. He's not well, I guess that's a therapist and a counselor similar. He's not a physical trainer. He's not a marital or a what do they call it? A dating coach, right? Somebody who helps you get a boyfriend or girlfriend or gets into a relationship.
A matchmaker?
A matchmaker.
Yeah,
Thank
matchmaker.
you. Thank you, Freddie B. Matchmaker. Put a dictionary out. Freddie B got a dictionary. Okay? You know, he's not the matchmaker. He's an image consultant. So now, we got to look at it from who he is. He has become famous from a clip that went viral last year in 2020 where he told a woman, per the headline, that she was average at best. But he didn't tell her that she was average at best based on his judgment, people. He told her that based on her judgment of herself, her assessment of herself. But this is how he got famous. And so from there, he went from being an image consultant to hosting a show on YouTube that basically has him in the vein of helping to fix the black woman. He says this for all women, but you know, we know the majority of what comes in. About 5% of his callers are white. The other 95% of callers are black women. To the point where now the whole show is catered toward that now. Call in, what's your problem? Tell me what's your problem. That's it. He'll have a topic. He'll put a little headline on his videos, YouTube live videos he does, and he'll go along with that. This is who we're talking about today. So he has now get into a what I call a groove. Would you agree, Freddie B? That's a groove he's in now. He's in a groove at this point. He's in a pocket.
Yeah. He in a particular pocket.
Yeah, he's pocketed. You know, a lot of boo. Have you had time to check him out, checking some of his stuff out, Kevin Samuels?
Yes, I have.
So he's in a pocket. He's doing. This is the. If you watch 10 of these videos, you're gonna have the same thing. You're gonna have the same theme. Some of the same exact questions. We know who this man is at this point. So what's the problem? So first question I have for you both, and I'm gonna let Lana Boo go first.
What's up
on this one? At this point? Why is this? We know this about this man. This is not. The history has not been changed yet. You know what I mean? You can't change the past, but
No.
he's doing the same thing. What's the problem with this man? What do you see as a black woman?
As a black woman, what's the problem with the man?
Yeah, like why all the uproar? Why people, feel like he tearing down women?
I don't see a problem with him per se. He has very strong opinions. But I see women are having a problem with him, because they see what he says. They take it negatively. But based on what he's saying, I personally don't feel like he's tearing women down. I personally feel like he's just being brutally honest. I feel like it's for him, you can tell he's keeping it real. He's from video to video. He has not changed his perspective. You know what I'm saying? He is basically saying the same things, but just answering, whatever particular question they tend to ask. Basically, I just feel like he's just being really brutally honest. Emphasis on the brutal.
Right.
And as you know, most women, as much as I don't like to admit, and one thing I told my husband today, after listening to a couple of his videos, I said, my husband and I said, we fall in the minority, of people in relationships and, and how the stereotypical, for me, like how the stereotypical woman is perceived, to act and to think and things like that. I fall in the minority. The majority of women don't like to be told unpleasant things. And if they are told unpleasant things, they kind of want you to handle it with kid gloves. They want you to, sort of finesse it. They want you to talk to me nicely. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to say it, just handle it with kid gloves. And that's not how Kevin Samuels is built. He's just built to just give it to you straightforward, brutal. Here it is, unfiltered honesty. So, and the funny thing is they dislike him, but yet they keep tuning in.
And that's the trip part. That is the trip part. I'm like, yo.
They dislike them, but they keep tuning in to hear. It's like,
Well, maybe this angle will work, girls. Oh, call. Yeah, give them that angle. Give them that angle.
It's like the milk is spoiled, but yet you still gonna smell it before you pour it out. So it's like it's bad. You don't need to know what it smells like too, or whatever. That's kind of like their opinion or whatever. But I don't feel like I can get past the delivery. You know what I'm saying? I can get past the delivery and hear the message behind it. And I don't necessarily disagree, with a lot of what he says. I know a lot of women probably feel like he didn't have to, say it like especially for and I'm glad you brought up that particular clip, where he told the girl she was average at best. And again, a lot of people like to just cut it to that part where he says you're average at best, but she rated herself as being average. He just asked her, what would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? And you can't use 7.
Right.
And
you got it right. You were one of the first women that got it right, and you can't use 7. You
can't use 7. And she said, I'm a 5. And then she said, but when she's made up, when she has her makeup on, she's a 6.
Right.
And he's like, okay, so a 5 is average.
That's average,
like,
right.
So why, so if once he gives that back to you, as women, I'm not understanding what the uproar was about. You know what I'm saying? He's just he just agreed with what you said. Like you said that if you're looking for some type of empowerment, to be told that yes, you can have it all despite whatever circumstance you are in. That's not the person you should go ask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If that's what you're looking for, you rely on your girlfriends for that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, girl, you the shit. You know, you can have it all. You know, you the boss bitch. You go to your girlfriends for that. But when you want to know truly, you know, if you really want to hold a mirror up in front of yourself and see, you know, what's the problem with me? What's the problem with the men and women, the dynamics between men and women? If you want brutal honesty, then you go to a Kevin Samuels. You know, that's just how I feel about it.
So let me ask you, because I'm gonna get to Freddie B, because I can, he's cooking over it. I can tell, because Freddie B breathing had to start changing when he started cooking in his mind. You start hearing more.
I wasn't even in the mic.
I see breathing pattern start changing. Okay, so listen, I'm loving what you said. You know, especially about most women don't like to be told or spoken to when you tell them unpleasant things. They want you to handle it a little differently. You can't just say it to them a certain way. You being able, and Alana, you brought up something. It didn't really affect you. And I'm kind of curious because I had the privilege and the honor of knowing your father while he was here. And I remember how he spoke. And I'm curious, is that because you had your father in your life that listens to somebody like a Kevin Samuels, the delivery does not take the message for you?
You know what? I never thought of it from that perspective, but you know, that makes 100% sense, because you know, my dad was very brutally honest. He told you like it wasn't no sugarcoating shit.
Right.
So, you know, for me growing up, you know, with that, as you know, as the example of the man that led our household,
right,
you know,
right.
I tend to be, you know, very honest and pretty and blunt. I try to leave. I have the honesty, but I try to leave out the brutality of it. I feel like there's a way to say everything and still get your point across. So I try to, you know, put a little sugar on it, just a little bit. But you know, growing up in that type of household, a very present father, you know, and a man who was very strong-willed and strong in his opinions, you know, on everything, and would just kind of tell you like it was, man. You know, for me to listen to Kevin Samuels, he does not. I don't have a shock value with him. He don't just really hit me like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Sometimes I'll just be like, haha, you know, like it's funny to me.
Yeah.
You know,
go ahead, sorry.
I'm like, yeah, it's funny to me sometimes, you know, like every now and then he'll catch me and I'll be like, ooh, you know, like,
right.
It's kind of like listening to a roasting session sometimes, but you know, it don't shock me like that to the point where it makes me angry, because like you said, I grew up in that type of household.
So it's fun to respond to that too. You know, I remember when I first discovered him before he was famous. I was going down a trail looking for some different types of dating coaches and things. And I was like this lady Lynn something was one of them I found, and then some Kevin stuff started popping up, and I clicked on it, and I remember sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying, watching this stuff, and just like, why am I laughing at this shit? It's funny, boy. This stuff because he just reminded me of, like, you know, a lot of my mentors back in the past, men that I've known when I was younger. So one more question for you, Lana, and I got to throw this to Freddie B.
Yeah.
But do you think these women are seeking male validation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think, you know, and we all know in the African American community, there's the rate of single mothers is disproportionately high. You know, so a lot of these women grew up without the presence of their fathers. So at the end of the day, if you don't have your father, you're always seeking some sort of validation from a man. And so I found it interesting after watching a couple of videos, like this one video I watched, you know, one girl said, she called in and literally said, okay, rate me. And
right,
I'm
she
like,
started off with it.
What?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yep.
Yeah, she just
led with it.
Yeah, she just instantly
No
led
hello,
with,
no, my name is. Okay,
yeah,
rate
just
me.
just rate me.
Let's
and
do
I'm
it.
just
Go.
like, if you ain't walking into the lion's den, like, and I just found that interesting. I was like, what is it within you that feels the need to call a complete stranger publicly? You know, he streams this stuff on his, you know, on his Instagram, on his Facebook Live, you know, and all that kind of stuff, to call him publicly instead of just booking I'm like, you could have booked a whole little image consulting session, but no, you wanted to do this publicly and get quote unquote rated. And I just was like, what is missing within you that gives you that desire to call this complete stranger and have him to rate you?
Right.
Like what are you missing, and why is that? Why do you feel like his opinion is that valuable to you? I don't get it. And one thing that I did notice was and I'm not sure if this is, and you can tell me, you and Freddie B, y'all tell me if this is y'all's experience with having conversations with women, because I found it very frustrating with trying to watch his videos. He'll ask a very direct question. What color is the grass?
Right. Well, last time I seen grass, I was over here on the west side.
Yes. So, and I was just like, oh my God, will you just answer the fucking question?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah.
Like, okay, and I'm like, is this y'all's experience, and with having conversations with women? Like, yes. I literally asked my husband, I said, this is not your experience you have with me, right? Like when you ask me a question, I just answer you directly, right? And I'm like, please tell me if I don't, And he's like, no, I get a direct answer from you, And so, but that I found that very frustrating. Yes. And I can see how the dynamics of communication can break down between men and women if women always have the need to give you all this like you ask them a direct question, they give you all this backstory, they sidestep, they, and it was every single woman whose interview I watched, when he asked them a direct question, he never got the direct answer. Never. Where he literally had to cut them off and say, that's not what I asked you.
Right. Or they'll take his question, respond to it, and then they want to make a conversation around what they thought it was versus what it was, and he tries to bring them back, and now it's this struggle to bring them back, right?
To bring them back, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just found that to be completely frustrating. To be honest, and all the women in my life, we've talked about circles and who you surround yourself with. All the women in my life are direct. We don't give you, like, you ask us a question, we just gonna give you the point blank answer. And so I'm struggling to even look at the videos because I'm getting frustrated feeling like him, like, just answer the damn question already. So I just, I don't honestly, just to wrap it up, I don't think he's necessarily tearing women down. I think he's holding up a mirror and making you take accountability for yourself, where you are in life, and then one more thing that I noticed that these women can't do is the women that tend to, that he, answers their question or whatever, they don't know how to articulate what they bring to the table. So there was a couple of videos that, that I watched, especially with the girl who, that was an average 5. Right. And he asked her point blank, well, what are you bringing? What do you feel like a high value man, needs or requires of a woman? Right. And her answer was, well, I can help him with his business. and that was the only thing that she could say. I can plant food, or I can do, and he's like, grocery stores exist there, that's irrelevant, And he was like, so you can help him with his business. What else can you bring? And she couldn't answer the question. Like, he's asked a couple of women this, and they could not answer the question. So at that point, you have to take accountability for yourself as the woman, of knowing what it is that you want and desire, and then also knowing what it is that you provide and bring to the situation. Mm-hmm. If you can't articulate that, when a man just point blank asks you, then why are you even asking him for a rating or ranking? Right.
Rate me.
Rate me. Yeah. No.
That's hilarious.
Freddie B. Okay, so Freddie B. First of all, I just want you, because Alana packed a lot there. So if you want to respond to anything, I just want you to give your time before I start asking you questions, because I'm also going to talk about your show a little bit too, Freddie B. So if you don't mind, if you got something for Alana, please.
I mean, well, to comment on what Alana was saying about asking questions, that's something that I've definitely dealt with, and even the last young lady.
But is it frustrating though, Freddie B, when you don't get a straight answer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I get frustrated.
It can be frustrating. I mean, me, I just listen, and like I said, the last young lady I was dating, she's not belligerent like some of those women are and combative. But, she had a propensity of, I ask her a question and she'll start like going down this rabbit trail of talking. And I'm like, hold on, wait, like, but answer my question. And so what I had to tell her was like, hey, look, when I ask you a question, answer, like, whatever you want to explain. I'm not saying you don't need to do that or you don't need to go on your rabbit trail, but the first sentence need to be answer my question, like in the affirmative or in the negative. Like, answer the question, and then you can give me all the backstory and explain yourself and all that type of stuff. Don't do this explanation. I'm sitting there wondering, like, where are you going with this? And then you forget my question, because that's what happens. She'll explain it, she'll forget my whole question and don't even answer it. And then by that time, if I'm not tight on it, I done forgot my question. And then I have to come back 3 questions later that is away from my whole point. Like, hold on, wait. But the whole point of this was this. You know what I mean? We done wasted all this time.
Fred,
So
I'm just glad you said that part, because I felt like maybe it's something wrong with me, because if a woman were to do that to me, or this happens to me anytime when I'm talking to a woman, would you just say it happens to me? They'll start going down their path, and I'm like, what was my path again? Because did my path even matter?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, do they care about my path?
What that's called is moving the goalpost. That's what it's commonly called, is moving the goalpost. And usually people that do that, like I said, the girl I talked to, she didn't really do it for this reason, but usually women that do that because they're trying to outthink you. They like, okay, he trying to trap me somewhere, so he not gonna get me, and they trying to run away from the point because they know like, I feel this way and this is what I want to protect, but I know the truth is it doesn't line up with how I feel, and they know that in the back of their mind, so they don't want to go along with making, because it's like a political thing. If you ask, it's kind of like the thing that just happened, the House committee with Maxine Waters and the old boy from Robin Hood.
The financial committee
Vlad.
meeting. Yeah,
Vlad Tenev. Yeah, they was asking questions. I appreciate that question. Thank you for asking me that. And so here at Robin Hood, it's like, can you, yes? And she asked him one question. She's like, yes or no. He would not say yes or no because he didn't want to, quote unquote, incriminate himself or feel like he incriminating the company. And I think a lot of women approach questions like that. Yeah.
Be accountable for. Because if I say yes or no, I have to now be accountable for. But if I don't say yes or no, if I just start answering like what you said, well, here at Robin Hood, I'm not accountable for the answer to your question. You know what I mean?
Right. You can continue to move the goalpost because you never plant it in the ground. Like, if you answer in the affirmative or the negative, then you got to plant your flag in the ground. Now you can't move the goalpost now because you done planted it here. So we can always come back to, wait, hold on, Thomas, you said yes. When I asked you, do you like butter? You said yes. So now you saying you don't like, and it's like, okay, I can hold you to something, and people don't want to be held to, and like you said, be self-accountable. So that part is definitely frustrating because, how you feel and how you approach life, that should represent something. Like, what you should be able to stand on something, stand on what you represent.
That's good, Freddie B. And like I asked Alana, I mean, what do you think about the male validation part? Do you think these women are coming back for some type of male validation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to, like, so I was a teacher and a tutor. So I worked with children for many years, like starting from when I was like in my teenage years all the way up till I was 30. So, over a decade I worked with children, and what I found is, I remember it was this one little boy in my class one time, and he was just acting up with these girls trying to get validation from them. And he was like acting up, trying to be funny, trying to be cool. And it was a class where it was like maybe, I think, 15 kids in the class, and it was like 3 dudes. But the other 2 dudes, they was doing their work, not doing anything. And then it was like one little girl, she was just acting up, doing the most. And I pulled the little boy outside the classroom, took him outside the classroom to talk to him. And I talked to him very sternly, got up in his face, like, hey, look, I told you to be quiet. I don't need, really like almost like a father would to him. We went back in the class. He silent, put his head down. I'm teaching. Then somebody raised their hand. I called on the little girl, and I was like, yeah. And then she said, such and such, he over here crying. He crying. And I look, and his head, and I noticed his head had been down. His head was down, and I went over there. I was like, hey, I was like, I tried to pick his head up, like, hey, what's wrong? And then I saw like the tears or whatever, and I took him back outside the classroom. He was just like sniffling, like not saying nothing. And I told him, like, why I did that, so on and so forth. So this is a long-term sub assignment that I had. I had to teach for like 2 weeks. Man, after that day, this boy was the best student in my class. He would come into class and be like, hey, Mr. Freddie, like speak to me like every single day and be like happy to see me. And then when the main teacher, my friend, she came back to class, the kids like, the sub, he made him cry, whatever. And then she talked to him and then talked to his mom and found out, that she told me the backstory about it's just him and his mother. His dad, he never knew his dad, just him and his mother. And his mother be having a hard time disciplining him because he go outside in his neighborhood and be running with the older boys who always get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, that's the
You know
worst.
what I mean? And so I was, and she don't have any male influence in his life at all. And I was like probably the first man in years, if not ever, to actually like speak to him in that way. And he loved it. And that's one thing I know is all the kids I taught and tutored and mentored, I would play hard with them, but also work hard. Like, you know, you gonna know, like when it's time to work, we about to work and it's serious. And all these kids, they would like love me. I see them in church, whatever. They would run up to me and just like tackle me and the whole nine. And then I remember this one little girl, she didn't have a dad. She came to me one time like, "Can you be my daddy? My mom need a boyfriend, and you can come and you can be my mom's boyfriend and you can be my new daddy."
Not the
this little
setup.
girl literally told me that. And then her mom was sitting right there. Her mom, like, she black and turned red. Like, she was so embarrassed. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. All like that. I was like, you know, it's okay. But what I learned is that when children don't have fathers, they look for that like, you know, to echo long-winded story, basically to echo what Alana Boo said, is like that validation. That validation comes in positivity and negativity. You know what I'm saying? But they understand, they can feel, you know, kids and people can feel when you care about them. They may rile against it in that moment, but they know, like, you telling me this for my own good. They may get mad in that moment. Like my fiance, I would say stuff to her and she would like go kicking and screaming, like, ah. Next thing I know, 2 weeks later, she'll be talking and then literally repeat like the whole speech that I said. Right. I'm like when I said that, you was acting like I was the dumbest nigga alive. And she would just be sitting there just smiling and looking at me. I'm like, oh, so you, and so that's what really got me to the point to where like I really understood when you talking to people, regardless of how they react, you know, if you're telling them out of love, out of however harsh it may be, like they hear you and they feel that and they appreciate it, whether they tell you or not.
That's good, man. That's real good. So, Freddie B, I want to ask you a few questions about this because you do have a weekly fireside chat that you all should check out. He does every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. right there on the Freddie B TV page, right? No longer on the personal page, it's on the Freddie B TV fan page, right?
Well, it's coming. Give me a couple of weeks and then we're going to make
in a couple of weeks, y'all got to make sure y'all check that out. But in the meantime, he's still doing his fireside chats. One of the things I notice about, I tune in because I tend to, this is my thing. I support my people, right? So what I call my people is not just because he's black. Okay. So yeah, that is our race. We're African American. I choose to go by Black American. That's just my personal choice. I actually write that on my applications too. But when I say my people, I mean my friend zone, my the people I work with, my colleagues that are close to me, that we are exchanging ideas, information, or making money and figuring out how to grow our communities, right? And so I always support my people. Go to their page and watch stuff and just see. Even if I don't see the whole thing, I'll keep at least a few minutes of it. And the moments that I've caught from Freddie B's page, I've noticed that there's a lot of women that come on that have a lot of thoughts and feelings about whatever the topic is at hand. And majority of the time, they're black women. And I quite often wonder, have the black women been bamboozled, right? I quite have to wonder, like, where are they getting this information that they present? Like, even on your page, Freddie B, like, you know, or Kevin Samuels, or anybody who's doing the kind of work to lay out some groundwork about what's going on with the relationships between black men and women. I'm starting to recognize, like, there has been a mass, like, messaging board somewhere that I must have missed. You know, I don't know. Alana must have missed it. Somehow we missed it. But what I noticed about us is that we both had 2-parent households. So when you have a 2-parent household, maybe that's where the sounding board is being blocked by the outside world, by your parents. I don't know if that's the truth, because like you said, this young boy you were dealing with, Freddie B, a single mother, you know what I mean, didn't have a father figure running with the guys in the neighborhood. That could be dangerous. But has there been some kind of mass messaging? Are you finding, Freddie B, on your show that things like what Kevin Samuels is doing is a lot more difficult, and maybe the brutal honesty is needed because the message has been just in an opposing direction, you know, for so long that there's a confusion between men and women where women think we still at war with men for some reason? Like, men, it's funny, women, it's a war. Women are at war, but men are not. Men are like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we not fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not. What's this war you talking about? What are you finding?
I mean, I think it's it's one of them things that's rooted in. Well, it starts. Alana Boo referenced it earlier about telling women the truth, and it has to be packaged a certain way. I think I've said this in a previous podcast about women want you to be truthful, but they don't want you to tell the truth. Or it's one of them things that can be inverse as well. Women want you to be truthful, but don't want you to tell the truth, or they want you to tell the truth, or don't want you to be truthful. And I think like I said, it basically like speaks to what she was saying. It's like they say like, oh, I just want a man to tell the truth. I just want a man not to lie no more. And it's like, oh, okay, I can tell you the truth, and here's the truth. Well, no, why you had to say it like that? Well, look, you need to repackage that to where I like it, and I think it's it's based off women to live by their feelings, and so the truth is ugly.
Yeah,
the truth. I think I said this on one of my fireside chats. Truth is ugly. Truth is hideous. Because it ain't no filter, ain't no accoutrements with it or anything. It's just boom. That's what it is, and you got and it's a pill with no gloss on the outside. It's like a jagged pill. That's like Alanis Morissette. That was the name of her album, and she named it Jagged Little Pill for that reason. Like her album was supposed to be like her truth. That's why she named it Jagged Little Pill. Because the truth is a jagged little pill. It's a
hard
little
pill to
swallow.
swallow.
It's jagged,
Right.
and hard pill, and it goes down, and it tears your esophagus up. It hurt going down. But that's the truth. You got to force it down, and people don't realize that. So, and then I think going back to I think I've said this on the podcast before about feminism. I've been doing research and reading more into womenism, that's something that's more geared to black women. But a lot of black women have subscribed to the feminist movement back from the 70s about independence and liberation, and now since all these men they've done us wrong, and these men out here doing this, so we gonna be a savage now. We gonna do the Kim Kardashian. We gonna divide these dudes. We gonna do all this, and it's like all the women who be preaching, especially in rap music, they got men. They looking to be in relationships and be in committed relationships and living a whole thing. Like we mentioned before, Cardi B, like Offset filmed her like, oh, I thought she don't cook and no clean to get this ring, but she cooking and cleaning. It's like they doing that just to like people doing this just to sell records to you. You are consumers. These celebrities, they know like, okay, I can live like this because you gonna buy what I'm pitching. And then you got these music execs who aren't black. They're like, okay, yeah, you can peddle whatever you want to other black people and tear them all up. I ain't worried about that. We just trying to make this money. I'm trying to keep driving my Bentley. I want to keep being able to fly wherever I want in the world. So if these little girls and these women coming up think that they don't need men and they gonna be a savage and all that, fine, let them do it. Like Beyonce on the Savage remix, she got a whole man. And then the name of their album they came out was called The Carters. It wasn't called the Knowles. It was called The Carters. You know what I mean? Like
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I do remember the Savage name. She was on a remix.
Yeah, like they wrote their world tour was Miss Carter World Tour. And then Jay-Z, and she found out he was cheating on her. They had their whole deal, but guess what? They good now. They
Carter
back together.
too.
So it shows you that that's what it's about. Like you think about their lives. Like Beyonce went to another level when she got married to Jay-Z. Jay-Z went to another level when he married Beyonce. They had their issues. He cheated on her. She found out. Her little sister came to her rescue, beat him up in the elevator. But they still together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Beyonce on the Savage remix. And like talking, and but then if you listen to her words, she rapping somebody what another girl doing because she not doing nothing on no Demon Time. You know what I mean? Like
she sure
guaranteed Jay-Z ain't like, oh yeah, Demon Time, yeah, go ahead Beyonce, do your thing. Like hell to the no, like ain't none of that happening. But these women done bought a lie and trying to be independent, and then they try to like. I'm gonna be like men and have sex, and then they meet because my episode I'm gonna do is about beta males. They meet that toxic beta male who really is about that life, and then lies to him, ravage him, and had them thinking it's gonna be a relationship, and then they hurt. And it's like, oh, you got hurt because you want to do your whole phase. You got hurt because you trying to be a savage and do all this, but that ain't how you built, young lady. And now you hurt, and now niggas ain't S. And it's like, no, niggas are great. It's just the niggas that you decided to mess with, and what you decide to portray out, the scent you put out was what you attracted.
It's what you attracted.
S niggas, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to blame you. That's your fault. That's why you hurt. Like don't try to paint us all. It's a whole bunch of great guys out here that want to be married, that want to have kids and want to have a family. Right. So I think that's the main thing. They just been so a lot of women been sold dreams, and then some women, then you got those women who never really got action from guys, and like you got these women who like aren't cute. Like they aren't cute and they overweight and there's a lot of things they are like because men are visual. You know, it's like, it's crazy how we all know that, but then people just like, okay, whatever. And so some women, you know, and not saying like, okay, if a woman is big, she's automatically ugly. There's a whole bunch of big chicks who are cute. You know what I mean? Some chicks can do stuff that other chicks can't.
Ooh.
Some chicks you can't afford
tell
to
me
be
Jill
big.
Scott ain't fine to you. You can't tell me.
Yeah, Jill Scott is very attractive. You know what I mean? She's
Boy.
very attractive. But it's some chicks that'll be like, look, Jill Scott big, she got a man, or this chick big, she got a man. It's like, but you ain't her, sweetheart. Like,
Right, you're not her.
she's
Right,
cute.
right.
She big, but she's still cute. So
Right.
it's gonna be a man that's gonna go. It's gonna be like, who gonna snatch her up? You know what I mean? You, on the other hand, you not cute and you big. Like, you got to pick a struggle. Like, I think Kevin Samuels said it on one of his joints.
Did he
you
say
got to pick a struggle. You can't be ugly and
I
big.
never heard
Like,
that before. That's funny.
come on, like, you can't. You know, men are visual. We like beauty and fertility. Those are things that drive us.
let me pause you there. That goes for men too, though, Freddie B. You got to pick a struggle because you know you can't have it all. You know what I'm saying? So I think it goes for men too a little bit.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, it goes for men, but if you a man and you got bread, like, that overcomes a lot.
becomes
You could
ugly.
Right,
Bread
you
do
could be
overcome
ugly
everything.
and big, but if you bread it up, it'll polish all that stuff up, and
Okay,
you'll,
so a little
you'll have
different
you
for
a chick
men.
and you'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That don't work for a woman. A woman can't be ugly and big, but she got money. A dude like, yeah, that's my wife. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen.
That's deep.
Would you do that,
Deep.
Thomas? If you would you date, like, actually date and be going out in public with a chick? She making $500K a year, but she big and ugly.
I don't. Well, here's the thing. I'm a little shallow, so
He said, "I'm a little shallow." You gotta know yourself.
No,
That's
here-
called being
Come on,
self-aware.
hold on, you gotta
No.
answer. Thomas, we just got finished talking about people answering the question.
no. Listen,
Come on,
listen.
yes or
Let
no?
me. I'm gonna give you yes or no, but I want to preface like for people to know I'm shallow. So me saying that I say yes. You know what I mean? But it might not be. I had to lean more actually to no. Here's the reason why I'm leaning to no, because I would do it for only one reason, and it's scandalous, and that's just to get to the money, and then after that I'd be out. So
you not dating her. You
that's
just
what I'm
busting her
saying.
down.
So that's why I say I'd be
you
lean to the no. That's why I had to lean to the
right.
no.
You just busting her down and you just manipulating her,
Scandalous.
destroying her life. That's it.
Exactly.
Right. Destroy.
This is why
All you doing is just destroying her life.
when I get on the phone with friends and ladies be like, "Oh, come fix my blinds, Thomas. Come do it." I'll be like, "I'm not. All dogs stay in the house." That's what I literally say to them. I say, "All dogs have to stay in the house. I stay in the house." You know what I'm saying? My girl here, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm not leaving the house. I'm good. I'm not fixing your blinds. Get another man. Like I literally like if you and that's only because I recognize this about myself in my latter years. Like I'm very like susceptible to go. So I had to stay put. Like I need to stay because I'm susceptible. So you know what I mean? And that's why like friends like from my past. Like if you notice, I don't really have a whole lot of new female friends. Like every female friend that I got is more than 10 years in the game. Okay, more than 10 years in the game of friendship. So I ain't taking on no new. I'm susceptible to go, and women are changing these days. I don't know you like that. I gotta know your family. I know a lot of whole family structure. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. Okay, I know. I can manage that. You know, this other random girl B come fix my blinds. I don't know what that means because Netflix and chill means sex, and that's not what it says. It says Netflix and chill. But that means sex to a lot of women these days. So, you know, I get confused. I don't want to be stuck. I've been dated the fat, ugly girl and I got the money and I'm like, okay, I'm out. And she's like, why you leaving? You supposed to stay. I'm like,
right.
No, I thought
And
you
then-
knew this
and
was. I thought you knew what this was. Like,
Yeah,
to me, that's
but
an
then
obvious answer. But
you got a lot of them women now who are like philosophers. Like it's one, she went to TSU. She a big time philosopher on women's liberation and all that, you know, and it's a lot of women who are like big time philosophers and women liberation and women power, and it's all about women. Like they totally like X men out the equation. That's because they can't get a man. Like a man who want them is like pretty much non-existent. So they like, okay, cause it's the whole thing of misery loves company. So you got women who like they so far removed and like they are like they are not attractive and they big. They don't appeal to men at all. And so they like, okay, well I can't get no man. All women join me so we can take over the world. And it's like, and some women like be going along with it and they be like, no,
I
you
know
actually
a woman
good.
like this. Now that you say it, it just dawned on me. I know a girl like that. And you know what's interesting is you're exactly right. She can't get a man, but she got degrees like a motherfucker though.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She is all the way to her doctorate.
It's like Kanye album. That one skit. My degrees will keep me warm. My degrees will love me. My degrees, my man.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like, because it's like, wow, she talking all this, and then what's crazy is, and it's funny, I don't know if this works for the same thing like in high school and college as far as friend circles, but what's crazy is her circle is like cute chicks. She ugly as all get out. You know, no diet having, just like she don't care. She like when it came to physique and beauty, she don't do her hair, nothing.
Damn.
She just let herself, like, yeah, like we're not talking about a girl who's just, because I think when women hear overweight, they think, oh shit, everybody, no, because there's a lot of women overweight this cute, which you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of them that's fine. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fine overweight chicks, which you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
like
just
what
saying,
you said could be taken so wrong.
It really can, but because I know him.
oh, what I said, my bad.
Because I know him, I'm gonna let that slide.
Because you said that like women who are overweight are inherently ugly.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that like
I am a plus size woman and I am beautiful.
No, you fine. What you talking about? You ain't beautiful.
Yes.
You fine.
Thank you, boo.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm not going to comment on another man's wife, but yes.
Oh well,
Alana Boo is not ugly. I'll say that.
I be line stepping, y'all. I be line stepping.
But yeah, I'm not about to comment on another man's wife.
You step on a roll line, and that may end your life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I mean, because when it comes to weight is independent from how you look. You know, you can be ugly. You can be ugly, cute, fine, or whatever.
Right.
You know,
yeah, it's about how you
weight.
carry yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, because I know some bad chicks that are plus size women. You know what I'm saying? And it's they dress for their body types. You know what I'm saying? And that can make a world of difference when you're talking about a plus size versus just an average size woman. And in my circle, you know, all of us are considered to be plus size. You know, we are like size 12 and above. Mm-hmm. So, you know, size 12 is pretty much basically like your average size woman in America, not in the world, but just like in America, we tend to be on the bigger side than in like East Asia and stuff like that. We like to eat. So, but overall, you know, it's about how you carry yourself, how you package, you know, what it is that you present to the world. And you don't have to be a size 2, you know, to be appealing to men. You know, I got an uncle who prefers to date a plus size woman. You know, that's just what he prefers. It's all about your preference. And a lot of times you can have a guy who thinks that he only wants, you know, the size 4 or size 6 until he sees a woman that's a plus size woman that's very well put together, and you know, and you can't help but to compliment her because she looks good. So it's all about how you package yourself and present yourself to the world. And it sounds like this chick that you was talking about, Tom, is she's just not doing that on all. You say she don't comb her hair.
No. She's not put together at all. I mean, she's not put together at all. And the unfortunate thing about it is that even with the overweight thing, when people talk about overweight, I guess more or less the point I was also trying to make is that there's a lot of people who we don't call overweight, but they're actually overweight based on their height. You know, based on their you know, saying their height. In their weight, the index.
You know, in the fashion industry, if you were 6, you overweight.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So for me, like, it's a lot. IG models is fine.
I think the key thing though with all this is, I think most dudes will say, it's like, you know, does she have like a flat stomach? Is her stomach flat, or is it a whole bunch of like, she's usually like a caterpillar? Some women look like a caterpillar when you take the clothes off, and then that's like, okay, hey, we can't do that. You know, it also depends on body stature, because I think like probably majority of the chicks I've dated will be considered overweight.
That's what I was about to say.
Based off the body mass index. But stomachs is flat though. They had some hips, they had thighs, they had buns. Stomach is flat though.
But thick thighs save lives. I don't even know where that came from. But I seen it and I thought I agree with it. I agree.
Somebody with thick thighs came up with it.
Right.
She must have saved somebody's life.
Because I mean, please leave it up to me. I'm gonna say somebody big head, something. I don't know. I ain't thinking of them right now, but you know, I got a big head, so I'm gonna make it sound good.
Big head instead. I don't know.
Hey, big head make them bled.
But the thing is that even when he nigga bled, damn.
Oh no,
Tearing coochies up, nigga, ripping the backs. Be careful with that.
Thomas, get out of that hole. Get out of that hole.
Yeah,
Get out of there. Get out of there.
but listen, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I think what Kevin Samuels is doing is he's really just, I think he's really trying to repair the community. Because at the end of the day, some of the things he talks about, the numbers he spits from black demographics, the 1 in 4 people are 1 in 4 women black women are married in their lifetime, will marry in their lifetime. 50 to 60% men are single, heterosexual, and childless. You know what I mean? Like, and want to be married. Those, when you start listening to the numbers, right? When you start listen to the statistics, and then, even when you start talking about, infrastructure and all these other things, the newer conversations that are coming about, and you look at the statistics, it starts to, like, I think it becomes eye opening. And I think one of the things that is unfortunate is that, and Alana, you said this earlier in our episode, basically, that you kind of have to, you can't, I wrote your quote, I wrote it down. Don't tell me unpleasant things. Ooh, the way you said that, because I've heard women say something like that, but the way you said it, don't tell me unpleasant things. The women don't want you to tell them unpleasant things. Like, that's deep, man. That is deep. And we're not saying all women, ladies out there who are listening.
Like you said, cause I'm in the minority. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where I'm like, you can tell me something that's unpleasant, you can sugarcoat it or not. Like I said, it's just based on how I was raised. I can handle, like, if I literally go to my husband right now and say, do I look fat in this? And he, just out of respect and out of, love, will be like, I probably wouldn't wear that. And I know what that means. The answer to that is yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right.
and I can take that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm a different breed. And my crew is a different breed. And I realize we're just in the minority.
Right.
We think different, we act different. And so again, somebody like Kevin Samuels don't really shock me that, but like, he don't really shock me like that.
And I think part of it is because he's not really dealing. I think he has made a conscious decision to deal with the majority versus to deal with the minority.
The minority, yeah.
And I think even when women go onto a show, and Fred. So this is the thing. Freddie B has his quote. He always says, "Nothing in life is absolute, but death and taxes." Right.
Right.
Now, I just say nothing in life is absolute, but death. Because niggas be evading their taxes. But
You can't. You always gonna pay taxes. When you go buy something from the store, you pay taxes, sales tax.
I'm giving your quote because what people tend to do is they say, "Oh, but I,"
And some little evidence.
right? And it's like, but wait a minute, we talking about a blanket. We talking about these statistics I just gave. Why is only 1 in 4 black women get married in a lifetime? Why is it? That's 75% of women that ain't getting married. What's going on? Why are there over half of black men that are single, are heterosexual, and childless that want to be married? Why are they not married? Why? So when you start to respond to the majority of the statistic, right? Let's respond to what's happening. I think that part of it makes it sound like brutal honesty, because he's to me, in my opinion, he speaks with a softer tone than a lot of men. That I have been told my tone could be kind of harsh sometimes. Like, oh man, you kind of feel like, I feel like you like, you're being rough. But I don't feel like I think the words he's saying, the Bible has a scripture. I wish I knew the actual book and chapter. And verse, but it talks about the word of God, right? The word cuts like a double-edged sword. It pierces and it pierces and it what? It
Divides.
Pierces, right. It separates and it pierces and it separates, right? And so when you think about that, like the truth, if the word being true, if it's something that's true and it cuts you and feels that way, it must mean it's cutting something out, right? But it may hurt either way it go. And I think that's probably what it is that when you're experiencing truth, you're not just getting, it's not him being brutal. It might just be truth. You just might be hearing some truth. And I know we always talk about his tone. I think he does get a little snarky from time to time. You know, Kevin.
Absolutely.
When he gets tired of talking to you, you can tell. You can tell.
You know.
He tired of talking.
Yeah,
He get a little.
I think going back to what Alana was saying about how the tone and how you talk to people, I think because it's one thing to have a particular tone. I'm talking specifically to you. Like, so Alana gave the example of her husband. Do I look fat? Like, he's talking specifically to her.
Right.
So it'd be different.
He has a relationship with her. Right.
Yeah, and he saw her like, yeah, you look fat as hell. It's like, it's like, okay, like, was that necessary? You know what I mean? But it's different if somebody is talking generally, like to what you just said, Thomas. We're speaking in generalizations. That's the thing. Like, people don't understand generalizations are fine. They're okay, because you have to speak in generalizations because we don't know each individual person. But the problem comes in when you start basing actions on generalization. You start doing something to an individual based off of generalization. But speaking in generalizations, period, like, that's just a part of life, because I don't know every single black woman. I don't know every single black man, white woman. And so people hear a generalization that is accurate, and then they feel hurt because they are included in that group of people that's being spoken to. And then they'll come with anecdotal evidence to what you were saying to them. Like, well, I don't. My homegirl don't. And it's like, that's great that you and your homegirl had a moment in time where y'all were above average. That's wonderful. But that doesn't speak to the average.
Right. Right. So Freddie B, Alana Boo, first of all hearts and minds clear, because I think I got Alana's answer. I think the people at home, we got your answer. Is Kevin Samuels keeping it real or tearing them down?
So what I was gonna say to answer that is, I think that he's keeping it real, but I think there's an element of commerce going on too. Because he makes money off his platform.
Yeah.
And so, like, now if you watch, when he posts the link, they specifically say women only. Like, now men don't even factor. If you a man, you can't call in and talk, nothing. You got to be a woman to call in and talk. And even women who call in, they'll call in just to say, I agree with you. He'll find a way to pull out some stuff. So I think there's an element. He also understands, like, this has to be interesting to watch. Mm-hmm. So you have that element in there as well. So I think that's where, if you're looking at his platform and what he's saying strictly from the standpoint of if it's true or not, I think that, like, you'll miss some of the stuff because you got the money aspect into it.
Yeah.
And that's why now he goes live way more often than he did even last
previously.
year. Like, he posting, he go live on IG and he'll post them videos. Like, every day he'll post like 3-4 videos. That's money. He'll go live like damn near every day. He'll be on live longer. Like, that's money. And I think, like, now he's because he's 52 years old. So he knows how to,
doing the video. He went to LA, did all those videos with those other creators. You seen all those other creators coming out with the Kevin Samuels videos? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he knows the algorithm. He ain't no dummy by any means. Like, he's a very smart, wise, grown, older man. So he understands the algorithm, how he's making his money, where it's come from, what sparks the algorithm, and all that. He knows.
My favorite part. Oh, we gotta get them likes up. We gotta get them likes up.
Get the likes up.
He bring that music on.
Yeah, you got to capitalize off of controversy, basically.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
exactly.
So even what Freddie B was saying, like, even for those who call in to say I agree with you, he's gonna find something within you that disagrees. Because he has to create some kind of element of controversy.
Right.
Because he can't just waste time. Like, oh, you agree with me? Okay, thank you. All right, next
Right.
call. I agree with you too. Okay, man. Hey, that's good. Look, man, I preach. Because then after that, then people gonna not watch. Because we watch. He knows why people watch him, and he gonna give you what you came for. So that's also the other thing that. Oh yeah, right. We all gotta keep in mind. And then also another thing that I think about is, like, everything he's saying is true as it pertains to women, but I know that there's gonna be some men who watch it and think like, oh yeah, see, it's all the women's fault. Like, no, nigga, you need a whole lot of work. You trash. You not a leader, and that whole deal, and you need work or whatever.
He works with, because I saw a couple of videos, because I had to search, like, his perspective on the men as well. So, you know, I heard a couple of clips of him, you know, giving men the business too on how to be a leader, how to get your shit together, how to, you know, so it's not a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I can appreciate. You know, it's just that it's not one-sided. You know, the way he asked sort of the invasive questions about like what's your dress size and things like that. You know, he asked the man in particular, do you got a big dick? You know, and you know, and the man
was like last February he posted that when I saw that one.
Yeah, you know, so I was just like, okay, so he, you know, he giving them the business too. So, you know, it's not a one-sided argument. But yeah, I think he's living in his truth. You know what I'm saying? And what he feels like, what, you know, when the dynamics between men and women, what the issues are and things like that. I feel like he's living in his truth totally. And I don't think he's necessarily downing women per se. I think a lot of these women, a lot of the women kind of down themselves a little bit.
Yes.
Not really knowing their true value and, like I said, and what they bring to the table.
Right.
So they kind of set themselves up for failure a lot of times, just to be honest.
Well, and I think with this show, he has been a big reflecting mirror, a big mirror, right?
Yes,
the show has been a humongous mirror for the people, and I think that's one of the things that I can appreciate, even though it has now gone to this more woman-centric focus. Because I imagine if he do a girls' day and do a guys' day each week, he would get equal responses, and he could find some things to talk about to help build the community up. And I think it's difficult because sometimes the house is so battered, right? If you bought a house and it needed a new roof and it needed, you know, the walls, the drywall was dirty and the wood was all moldy or whatever, you could rebuild that house. But if you bought a house and the foundation is broken, right, and it needs some work on the side or the grade, which is like the angle at which the house sit, the grade is decayed or something like that. If that is happening, you got to tear that house down before you can build on that piece of land. And I think sometimes the effects of his words are essentially like, I have to tear down the construct by which you walked into my show so that now I can give you this new thing. And I think that's part of the pain and turmoil, right?
And realistically, Thomas, what do people really want? People want move-in ready.
They want to move in ready. They want the new house.
Don't nobody really want to have to build nothing, you know, tear
I don't
nothing
want
down.
a new roof. Right.
Yeah, don't nobody want to tear nothing down and have to build it back up from the ground up.
Right.
Everybody wants turnkey. Everybody wants move-in ready. And don't nobody really want to do the work.
Exactly. And I think that's
hard, but it's necessary, baby.
Exactly.
But that's sweat equity in.
Exactly. And this is what we need in our community. We definitely need to sweat equity. And I appreciate shows like what he's doing. Freddie B, we appreciate your show too. You keep it up. I know you dealing with some situations because yours is more intimate at this point. But I think it's cool because it's people who know who you are. And I think that helps the people to be more receptive or to receive more the information. And then sometimes because of who you are, they also they try to fight you a little bit too because they know you're like, we're gonna get Freddie. We think he's funny. I'll get him on this one.
It go both ways. I mean, because people remember Freddie B TV, and then, you know, like people will put you in a box like, okay, this what I know you for, so that's you, that's all you do. And it's like, nigga, I'm a whole fully formed human. Like, I ain't just cracking jokes all the time, and then I ain't still
just a joke box. It's a joke box.
Yeah, I ain't almost 40 still like doing that stuff I was doing when I was 21. Like, that's a big gap, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, listen, it seems we got way too many feelings today about what's going on in the world of Kevin Samuels. But we answered the question for you, you know. I think we did a good job answering the question, you know. But how do you guys feel out there? I mean, is he keeping it real? Is he tearing them down? Y'all can tell us. Our handles are in the descriptions below. We'd love to know how you feel about, you know, today's topic. Make sure you subscribe and rate the podcast, okay? Whew. I've been here with...
It's your main man, Freddie B. Yeah, buddy.
Wait, you sound like Barney. You sound like one of the Flintstones. You did
I got stuck. I said it. My mind went blank when I was talking. That's just what came out. I don't even know.
And who else we have today?
It's your girl, Lana Boo.
You already know what it is. Hey, and I'm yours truly, T Staples. And make sure you catch us next time when we have too many feelings. Peace.